And then later on we will put you, inshallah. Don't worry, Allah is there to help you. So, the more you try, the more you practice, you have good chances of becoming a good speaker, inshallah. You have to practice. Every day 20 times.
Inshallah.
Whatever script it is, you have to. And don't come with the script. Don't come with the script. This script, you should keep it up to the side. Whatever you have memorized, whatever you remember, whatever you are able to retain, that has to be your talk, inshallah. That's when you will be able to deliver a good talk, inshallah. Then there are some observations. Don't pause. Don't stop. Don't feel ashamed. Don't get embarrassed. कोई मुझे क्या बोलेंगे, मुझे देखकर क्या मेरा इज्जत चलेगा, इज्जत कहीं भी नहीं चला. आराम से, इज्जत तो अपने जगह में बाकी है माशाअल्लाह ताला. क्योंकि आप तो बहुत सारे लोगों से आप बेहतर हैं, क्योंकि यू आर गिवन अ ट्राई. बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ आने के लिए मुश्किल समझते हैं. जितने भी हैं माशाअल्लाह ताला, good brothers माशाअल्लाह ताला. I would say, if somebody wants to give a talk, I'll be very happy amongst the brothers. Who else want to give a talk? अगर कोई भी हिम्मत अफजाई नहीं कर रहे, तो इससे मालूम हो रहा है माशाअल्लाह ताला, you are better than those who are not coming here. So let's see who wants to come now. Who wants to come onto the stage and give a talk? But there's a need for preparation, isn't it? कोई भी चीज preparation के साथ. These two brothers are new. MashaAllah ta'ala, if they take up the task, inshallah, maybe the next week, when the next session when they come, they can deliver a talk, inshallah. Preparation is important.
Two, that means I created. Khalaqta, that means you created. Wama khalaqtal jinna, and you did not create. Wama khalaqtul jinna, and I did not create. You seeing the difference? When you are saying Allah says, Wama khalaqtul jinna, it means I did not create but to worship me. But if you are saying, Wama khalaqtal jinna, you did not create but to worship me. So galat ho raha wahan par. So you should be very careful whenever you are reciting the Quran and whichever matter from the text of the Quran, you are reciting the Arabic text, be very careful that you look into every single detail. The Arab, you need to check the Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, what is it? And you have to recite it accordingly. Mistake kiya to mistake, bahut badi mistake ho jate. So you should be very careful, very, very careful when it comes to recitation of the Quran. And secondly, with respect to the women, when they are reciting the Quran, they should not recite it with the tajweed when the men are around. In the sense, when I say tajweed, it doesn't mean that you should not recite it with melodious voice, like how gents can recite. We can recite it by making it very beautiful. But when the women are there amidst the men, they are not supposed to beautify their voice and recite the Quran. When they are alone amongst themselves, they can recite the Quran while beautifying their voice. That's not a problem. But when they are amidst the men, then they are not supposed to beautify their voice and recite the Quran, like the way that we read the Qiraat. When we read, we beautify it. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. So women cannot recite like this when they are amidst the men. One may ask a question, why this double standard? No, not double standards. Men are different and women are different. When men are doing things, it is seen differently. When women are doing certain things, it is seen differently. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands for the women, when any guest or any man comes to your home and a stranger comes, when you're speaking to that person, you're not supposed to soften your voice so that you don't give a wrong information to the one who has got a disease in his heart. So man is of various kinds. So if you only seen talking to him very nicely, he should not get another thought. So therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala restricts the women to soften their voice in front of strange men. So inshallah ta'ala. And that is one thing. The same problem was found in the sisters' talk also. There was the Quran which was recited, which had a certain mistake in the recitation. So inshallah you should avoid that. Fine. So be careful of reading the Arabic Quran. It's very important because the meanings change. Meanings change. Say, if you say, Innama yakshallaha, Innama yakshallaha, Innama yakshallaha min ibadihil ulama. If you say Innama yakshallaha min ibadihil ulama, it means that people fear Allah. If you say Innama yakshallahu min ibadihil ulama, it means Allah fears. You see how it goes? If Innama yakshallaha mean people fear Allah. If you say Innama yakshallahu, that means Allah fears. Just yakshallahu, yakshallaha. You see the difference? So it's very, very important that we understand what we are uttering. Little bit of change in the Arab, it will give a totally different meaning. Totally different meaning. So a person who is understanding Arabic, he'll feel, oh, what is that being recited? Blunder, blunder, blunder. Nauzubillah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. He will say all that. You understand? So that's the reason whenever you are quoting Arabic, careful, careful. Because yakshallaha, yakshallahu, total difference. The same way you can say, wal asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu. Wa'amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Wal asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. Innal ladhina amanu. Did I quote it right now? Innal ladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Any mistake? Na'udhu billah min dhalik. Astaghfirullah. Innal ladhina means surely these people who are believers, who are doing good deeds, they are all under utter loss. Innal ladhina amanu. Illal ladhina amanu, except for the believers, except for those who do good deeds, all of them are under utter loss. So you may think, innal ladhi or illal ladhi mein kya farak hai? Both farak hai. Opposites ho gaya wahan par. So be very careful. Be very careful and try to learn some basic Arabic also, inshallah ta'ala. It will help you, inshallah ta'ala. Some basic Arabic. You don't think that knowledge is for the ulama. No, no, no. Quran never says the knowledge is for one group of people. No. Knowledge is for all. And you have to strive to attain great heights, inshallah, in knowledge. If you strive hard, inshallah ta'ala, while you are in Bangalore also, you can attain great knowledge, inshallah. You can become a scholar while you are in Bangalore itself. There are many scholars with whom you can sit in the evenings, an hour or two, gain some knowledge, keep on updating your knowledge, upgrading it. Go to the net, consult the ulama, sit with the books. Inshallah ta'ala, you can attain great heights, inshallah ta'ala. First thing is you need to have tawakkul with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah is the one who gives whatever we need. Secondly, you need to strive. सिर्फ तवक्कुल रख के दुआ करते ही बाद में मेहनत नहीं करेंगे तो वो जो आप चाहते हैं वो आपको नहीं मिलेगा. You have to strive in the way of Allah. Only then you will find what you are wanting to get, inshallah. So these are certain things, inshallah. Now we go to the Dawah Net program today. So today's list of speakers, many of them did not perform. That is not a good sign. Who all want to give a talk for the next week? Let me know. Brother Ayaz, the next session, that is the fourth week, inshallah. Brother, can you make a list in a good sheet? I don't want to see a chit. I want a complete sheet. No chit business. I want the things which are being spoken today to be filed. So what do you want? What do you have to do? Take a fresh paper. Take a fresh paper. Maintain the things that are being discussed here. Okay. Now, Brother Ayaz, he is wanting to give a talk. The next session. What is the topic on, brother?
The purpose of creation.
The purpose of creation. How many minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, mashallah. Last time you gave it for 5 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay. Good. The purpose of creation, okay. Fine. Next speaker, who wants to give a talk? Yes, two brothers, you need to have little training, isn't it? Some little training required? Okay, inshallah. I will take that session, inshallah. Then, who else? You must give it a try. The next session you have to give a talk, at least for 3 minutes. Not necessarily you have to give for 10 minutes. Give it for 3 minutes. Don't use the script. Keep the script to the side. Whatever little you know, speak on that. Don't speak of those things which is not in your control. Okay? Speak of those things which is comfortable for you. So 3 minutes you are going to prepare a talk. What is the topic? Same topic. What?
Introduction about Islam.
Introduction about Islam. Make a note of it. Imran. The more you practice, the more you become better. So practicing is important. Training is important. Then practicing is important. You have to keep practicing. Even if you become a speaker one day, you need to regularly practice and regularly give talks. Only then you will be able to, inshallah. Yes, brother?
Probably after that, next week I will be giving. Next week I will not be in station.
Next week? The next.
Next week.
You're not there in station? Okay. Fine. Anybody else? Nobody else is ready now. Okay, fine. Among sisters, somebody is interested in giving a talk the next week? Your good name, ma'am? Sorry? Sister Rana. Okay, Sister Rana. What's the topic that you want to choose? On Salah. The importance of Salah? The importance of Salah. Anybody else among sisters? That's it? Okay, fine. Okay, I would want to teach some few things, inshallah. The new learning for today. We must understand an important word called manhaj. Manhaj. How many of you have heard of this word? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. 5, okay. What is the meaning of manhaj? Methodology. Okay, in the context of Islam, what does it mean? Okay, mashallah. When we are saying manhaj, what it actually means? It means the methodology of gaining knowledge, understanding the knowledge, implementing on that knowledge, and to share that knowledge. How do we understand the religion? Now everybody says we are on the Quran and the Sunnah. Everybody wants to say that we are on the Quran and Sunnah. But they are missing out on a very important thing, and that is the manhaj, how to understand the deen. We say we have to understand the religion as the Sahaba understood. The Quran and the Sunnah needs to be understood as the Sahaba understood. And when the Sahaba understood a matter in a certain manner, so we also understand that issue, that matter in the same manner. If that is our deen, inshallah ta'ala, we will be the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The people of the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Jama'ah of Sahaba. Why do we use this word Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah? Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Khairul Qurni Qarni, Khairul Quruni Qarni, Thumma alladhina yalunahum, Thumma alladhina yalunahum. The best of generation is of my generation, and then the next generation, and then the next generation. Another place, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Khairun nasi qarni, thumma alladhina yalunahum, thumma alladhina yalunahum. The best of people is of my generation, and then the next generation, and the next generation. So the first 3 generations, they understood the deen better than us. So we have to relate back to them. How did they understand? With respect to the beard, with respect to the salah, with respect to any matter. Today you will find some people coming up out of nowhere and they reject many things which the Sahaba believed. And they say we don't need to understand as the Sahaba understood. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran in Surah An-Nisa, chapter number 104, verse 115. Whosoever does not obey the Rasul and follow other than the way of the believers, Allah will put them into the hellfire. And this verse, believers, is talking about the believers who were there around the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahaba. Nowadays you'll find people saying, sihr. How many of you heard of sihr? Sihr means black magic. You find so many people amongst the people who say that they are following Quran and the Sunnah, but they reject the aspect of believing in sihr. They deny the existence of black magic. But if you read the Quran, there are texts which confirms the existence of sihr. If you go to the Hadith, it also confirms the existence of sihr. If you go into the Tafsir Ibn Kasir, it confirms that sihr is existing. But a common man who doesn't have this methodology, manhaj in his mind, then he will commit mistake. He will deny. No, it cannot be. But if you just go and inquire, did the Prophet ﷺ explain it? Didn't the Sahaba believe it? Yes, they believed it. But why don't you understand like the Sahaba believed? No. In this issue we will not believe. So that's when we have divisions amongst Muslims. When they leave the manhaj, when they leave the understanding of the Sahaba, so that's when there are many groups amongst Muslims. So we have to remember that manhaj is very important to unite the Muslim ummah. The Quran and the Sunnah as understood by the Sahaba. If we have this as a yardstick, then it is easy. Then as a da'i, we must seek protection with Allah. Dua. Dua is very important. Morning and evening dua. Especially the morning and evening dua, which is the fortress of every believer. You need to recite it every day. Some of them are Kul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, Kul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. Then there are certain duas. You can refer to Hisnul Muslim. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. 100 times if you recite it, shaitan will not touch you. 10 times if you recite also, shaitan will not touch you. There are 2 hadiths also, inshallah. So these things should come into our system. How much of dua we do, how much of istighfar we do. It's very important for a da'i. Because we commit mistakes. We are human beings. Human beings are those who commit mistakes. So what are we supposed to do? But the best amongst the human beings are those who repent for their mistakes. So we must be amongst those who return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, repenting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seeking Allah's help. Without Allah's help, you cannot do anything. You must have it very clearly that we can do anything with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So have this. Then as a da'i, you need to memorize certain things. If you are giving a talk and you are quoting some Quran, an ayat from the Quran, then you should have memorized that ayat. For that you need to take out some time. How many times you have to practice? How many times you have to practice to memorize? Yeah, that is for the talk. For the Quran, if you want to memorize one line of the Quran, what you are supposed to do? Read it 10 times. What are you supposed to do? Read it 10 times. Keep reading it 10 times. Then after that you close. After you memorized one line of the Quran, you finish reading it 10 times, you close it. Then without looking at it, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to read it without looking at it. Read it 3 times. 3 times. Without looking at it. In case you go wrong, then again look at it and read 5 times. Then close it and try to read 3 times. MashaAllah, you would have memorized, inshallah ta'ala, one ayat, inshallah ta'ala. One ayat is memorized. Now if you want to go to the next ayat, you memorize in the same way the next ayat also 10 times. Then close it, try to say it 3 times. If you're able to say, good. If you're not, then again read it 5 times. Then again close it, try to say it 3 times. If you're not able to say it clearly, again 5 times and 3 times. Then you would have memorized, inshallah ta'ala, the next ayat. Now what are you supposed to do? Add the first ayat and the second ayat and say that in your mind 3 times. If you're able to say, good. If you're not, then again go back to it. First and the second line, read it 5 times together. Then again close it, try to say it 3 times. So this way, try to add the ayat one after other, you will be able to memorize. But what people want, I tried 2 times but I'm not able to memorize. I tried 3 times, I'm not able to memorize. That way you are not able to. Iza takarrara, takarrara. As the saying goes, the more you keep reading or reciting, you get the things recorded in your heart. So you have to read. Whatever you do, you have to keep reading, reciting, and that you will be able to memorize, inshallah ta'ala. So there's no short way, there's no shortcut. Okay, I just read it once and I got memorized. No, it's not like that. People work hard. Even those who have memorized the entire Quran, if you go in the Fajr time, after the Salah, they'll be doing the Tilawah. They have to keep revising it. They have to keep revising it. It's not easy way. Oh, he's a Hafiz al-Quran. No, he's a Hafiz al-Quran. But he has to practice it. Without practicing, he cannot retain it. Retention is not there. What did the Prophet ﷺ say? Take care of the Quran, for it will run away just like how the camel runs away. When you memorize the Quran, take care of it. If you are very lethargic and very easy about it, then it will run away just like how you will let the camel run away. So you have to keep the Quran intact. You have to keep memorizing, inshallah. Then gain knowledge. Can you be a very good speaker without knowledge? Without ilm? You have to gain knowledge. Read books. Spend some time. Listen to lectures of the scholars. Today you can't say that I can't gain knowledge. Today. In today's time, if you're having a mobile phone, it connects to the world. You have access to knowledge. You want the entire Quran in PDF? Just one, Quran.com. You have it. You want the entire book, the sealed nectar? One PDF. You get the complete book, the sealed nectar, Ar-Rahiq al-Maktum. Completely, everything. What you want, today it's on the fingertips, on a mobile phone. You want to practice the Quran tilawah? You have Shuraim, Hafidhullah, or Sudais, whomever you want. Just on it, wear the earphones, keep listening to it. Whenever you're traveling, you can start memorizing just by hearing to it. Just by hearing to that. So that way you can, the thing is, how much are we striving? How much are we striving? When you have some journey for going to your college or something, 40 minutes drive, you are in the bus, on the Quran, listen to it. Keep listening and hearing to it. You will memorize, inshallah ta'ala. There are benefits. But how many of us are really doing it? We have time for many things, but to memorize the Quran, we don't have time. Na'udzubillah min dhalik. May Allah protect us from that. Then, dawah is fard. We must understand doing dawah, it's not just a time pass. Like how many of them they think, kiya to acha hai, nahi kiya to bhi chalega. It's not like that. Doing dawah is fard upon every individual. But do the dawah as much to the knowledge you have. Now if you are talking about Islam, you are talking about La ilaha illallah, gain some knowledge about La ilaha illallah and you start speaking about it. But if you are talking about a matter relating to fiqh and you have no idea of the evolution of the fiqh and you want to say, ye sahi hai, ye galat hai, then beware of that kind of thing. You need to have a limitations. You go to a doctor who is just an MBBS and you talk to him about cardiology, he will say, go and meet the specialist in cardiology. You have some problem with something of, your urinary bladder or something, he will say, go to the urologist, nephrologist, go to the person who is specialized in that. So, the doctors, they themselves do not answer every question of yours. They will say, go to the specialist. So even here, there are specialists in every area. If you don't know of anything, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. In any matter, if you don't know of anything, refrain from giving a fatwa immediately. Go and ask the people of knowledge and take it from the right source. Then talking, When you're giving a talk, you have to raise your voice. Don't be very soft. When you're giving a talk, you have to raise your voice. That keeps the attention of the audience. Now you are listening to me because the voice is clear, it is loud enough, and it is keeping you, like you are able to hear. You want to see what is the speaker going to say next. So that way you have to keep your voice high. Fine. I had many aspirations today, mashallah ta'ala, that I can identify some more speakers. Mashallah ta'ala, the sister performed quite well, inshallah ta'ala. Your beginning was also good, but many of them did not turn out today. About 4 to 5 speakers, they are missing out today. For whatever reasons, they are not here. But we want to identify someone who can be a good VJ. How many of you heard of VJ? VJ, what is VJ? Video jockey. What is a video jockey? What does he do? Sorry? He entertains. A video jockey, what does he do? He entertains. You might have seen some television channels wherein a man comes and he shows something on the back screen and he starts speaking relating to that. So that is the work of the video jockey. See, we are not saying that we can become scholars overnight. Scholars are doing their job. Scholars are doing their job. Okay, how many of you finished engineering here? Okay. Anybody else? Okay, mashallah. You have finished engineering. Are you a scholar of engineering? Bachelor. Is anybody a scholar of engineering? So the thing is, even if you become, you pass out from any profession, you qualify to be something. But to be a scholar, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, meaning anything, any doubt if you have relating to that, you can ask and clarify. He has got in-depth knowledge on a subject. In-depth. So anybody who passes out through engineering, he cannot be called as a scholar of engineering. He is a pass out, mashallah. He is passed out with 40%, 50%. The scholar, he should have in-depth knowledge on any subject. So that level is not that everybody can declare. So even if you finish a course in a madrasa, 5-year course, everybody who passes out in a madrasa is not a scholar. Scholar has to have in-depth knowledge on a subject and he should have the right intentions and he should direct the people in the right direction. So all these things put together, he is a right scholar. Otherwise, no. So similarly, what I am trying to get at is whether we are going to become a scholar or not, Allah knows best. How much of knowledge is in store for us, Allah knows best. But we all can do something else. We all can do something else. What is within our capability? News readers. One of you can become a news reader. One of you can become a video jockey. But all in Islamic perspective. Video jockey. Today most of the people at homes, they spend their times in front of televisions. You all know this? Any doubt? The maximum time that this generation of us, they spend on is on television. Now what is the option that we have? Either we tell all our Muslims, don't watch television. Bring all the televisions and break it and finish it off. That is one option. Second option is that we tell them, watch only Islamic programs. Third option we can say, don't even on the television even if you have the television at home. What is practically possible? Practically what is possible? Watch Islamic programs. Now Islamic programs also, it should be of various kinds, like something which attracts elders, something which attracts children, something which attracts the women. All these varieties of programs are required to attract different customers of ours. One common thing may not attract everybody. One common thing. For children, you need to present it in a different style. Have you seen the books for the children, little children? How the publishers, they market it, they present it, totally different. For elders, the presentation is totally different. Same story. Same story. You might have seen in cartoons, Chota Bheem and all that stuff. In cartoons, which segment are they concentrating on? Chota Bheem. For whom? For elderly? 60 years, 70 years? Little children. For that little children, they have to present in that way so that the little children, they get glued on to the television and they watch all that stuff. And when they watch all that, their thinking becomes like what is being presented. And now we need alternatives. We are talking about alternatives. Video jockey. Okay, Islamic programs, documentaries, then Islamic cartoons. One may find out, cartoons, Islamic, how is it possible? It is possible, inshallah ta'ala. It is possible. There are fatwa, islamqa.com, which says you must come out with Islamic cartoons. Without music, without telling lies, without depicting something which is not permissible. With all that, you can present. You may have a doubt, how is that images allowed? Are images allowed? Cartoons? So, I have to tell you that making dolls, making idols allowed or not? Idols. Haram. So, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he used to pass by any idol, he used to obliterate it. He used to disfigure it and then he used to pass by. Making dolls, making toys, something like horse or something like a doll, is it allowed or not? Don't know. Yes or no? Can children play with it or not? Yes, I hear some yes, I hear some no. But what is the dalil? Aisha radiallahu anha, she used to play with the dolls. One time she was playing with a horse-like thing with wings. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he asked, what is this, Aisha? So Aisha radiallahu anha, she says, this is Sulaiman alayhi salam's horse. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard to this, he started laughing. So the ulama, they make it clear distinction. There are permissible things among the things like dolls or toys which are permitted for the children to play with. That's about it. That is how you have to take. Similarly, the fatwa of the scholars, if you refer back to islamqa.com and various other things, you will come across the fatwa saying that images are allowed for educational purposes, medical purposes, identity purposes, like how we use the ID cards, how we have CCTV for security purposes. In medical training, you have to see the pictures of various lungs and various heart. If you say images are not permitted, I will not look into lungs and heart and everything, then instead of heart, you would have cut the lungs. No? You're not supposed to cut the heart also. But instead of cutting some veins or some artery here and there, you would have cut something else. So there is a need, there is a necessity, and the ulama have understood this by their knowledge based on keeping the Quran and Sunnah. They have given the ruling. So even the cartoons are permissible in an Islamic perspective. Without music, making it attractive, giving only Islamic disciplines. Now you need to give an alternative. Yes?
But it's like something we are creating of our own. It's not God's creation. It's like we are giving a new, it's like we are creating a new living thing.
Okay.
Is that what?
Okay. We are creating a new, the same thing applies to even to doll. Creating something new. Like for example, if I take your photo, it is God's creation. But if I take a doll is also a creation, which is once again not a natural one, but that is also being permitted. So the ulama have given, based on a lot of discussions, like how we discuss, this is like nothing when compared to the discussion that happened in a bigger forum with the people of knowledge who have their own refutations, and finally they come out with a fatwa saying that it is permissible in this level. So what I am looking at is who can do the job. There is a need for a video jockey who can, inshallah ta'ala, walk on MG Road, Brigade Road, and certain questions will be given to you. And what you have to do is go on a market survey. Go there, and with the cameraman will be there. You are a media man, you will be wearing an ID card, and the cameraman will come along with you, and you will start asking questions. Yes, have you heard of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? This is a question. Just to know. Well, in school days, yes, we have heard of him. Okay. Do you know anything more? Do you know anything? No, we don't know much. What all have you heard? Oh, we know that Islam is somehow connected with terrorism. Oh, this is all you know. So you have a video recording, and then you show how many of them are ignorant about Islam. Make a documentary on that. Then you show another perspective to that, what is Islam and all that, and put it on air. Okay, that's one thing. Then secondly, you go to the market and ask them some questions. Okay, what do you think about the hijab that the women wear? Oh, it's outdated. I don't know why they wear, and get all these things documented. And then you keep them entertained and talk to them and say that, no, hijab is for this. Do you know that this verse the Quran says about this? What do you think about Maryam, Mary the mother of Jesus? She used to wear the hijab. What do you have to say about that? Posing questions to the public people who are on the street. This is one section of people who don't come to our events. If you're inviting them, they have no time. But you walking on the street, talking to them and giving them some material, and before that having something documented and airing it on YouTube and other things, it will have its own relevance, inshallah ta'ala. Impactful. So, why? Because this is one section of people who are waiting for entertainment. Whatever you are giving as a serious lecture, they don't have time for that. There is one section, big section, who need to be given that which attracts them. As Dale Carnegie, he said, very good, personality development trainer. He said, personally, I like strawberries, but the fish like worms. Personally, you ask me, what do you like? Dale Carnegie likes strawberries, but the fish likes worms. He cannot give the strawberries to the fish to catch the fish. If you want to catch the fish, you need to give that which attracts the fish. What attracts the fish? Worms. Do we eat worms? Do we eat worms? Oh yes. Oh, all the guests have come. Let us prepare some worms. All of you eat? No. Strawberries? Yes, mashallah. Get me some. One more. But the fish, you want to attract the fish, you give the strawberries, it won't get attracted. So what are you supposed to give it? That which attracts the fish. So throw the worms to catch the fish. So similarly, you have to analyze. Today, youngsters are moving in one direction. Women at home, another direction. Non-Muslims totally lost. Now, how are you going to reach? We have a big task in front of us. How are we going to reach? People in the college, you know it better. What is today's situation? Youngsters who are sporting beard and all that. And you find the Muslims criticizing the beard and stuff. You need people around you. Those who are having the aptitude and the interest and who are willing to develop the competence. You have to develop within you. That interest should turn out to be, something more. It should not just limit to just interest. You should gain knowledge, you should practice, then you should deliberate it in certain occasions. So inshallah ta'ala, we have a media center here for recording, for editing, and then putting it on YouTube. Inshallah, if anybody wants to be a video jockey, inshallah ta'ala, first thing what is required of you is to prepare a small documentary about yourself. What are you capable of? So your documentary will be presented in a 5 minutes clipping. You have to produce something. We will give you a project work. You have to produce something. The editing team will also assist you. And once it is on the air, you are getting recognized for what you have produced, inshallah ta'ala. And we will also promote, inshallah, in our events. So we will tell you how to be. You might have seen news readers. News readers you have seen. In half an hour, the report keeps changing. In half an hour, the reports keep changing. How do they do that? How do they memorize so many things? Can anybody tell me?
They have text.
They have text running in the front. That's called as teleprompter. It's called as teleprompter. If the camera is there, below that, the text are shown in electronic fonts. It keeps moving. And you will find the speaker or the news reader just looking at the camera. But the thing is, the teleprompter is reading. The whole thing, he reads the teleprompter. So there are certain equipments. Inshallah, we should come out with that. We should try to use all of these things. If you start giving your perspective in the form of media and you reach the masses, inshallah ta'ala, the things that you want to share with the world, you can do it within no time, inshallah ta'ala. Today, mobile phones is there with every Tom, Dick and Harry. Even a person walking on the street, he's cleaning the road, he's having a mobile phone. Mobile phone, the person who's cleaning the street also is having a mobile phone. And you know what, this Android system, wherein you can see the, the clippings, videos, then YouTube and everything has come to the hands. So the tools for the shayateen are in the hands. Tools to connect with the shayateen are in the hands. But now if you are transforming this tool for anything which is beneficial, then it's up to you how much of thing you want to produce and bring it to the air for people to watch it. For lectures, one category, one section. But for little children, what are the alternatives? So we need to have Islamic programs in the form of documentaries. So inshallah ta'ala, I would want to tell quickly and finish my talk. Brother Shabas, can we have the assignments for today? Got these Kannada booklets printed. The booklets which talk about the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in about 16 pages. We all want to share the knowledge of Islam to the non-Muslims, that too especially Kannada speaking people. In Tamil Nadu we have a lot of material, mashallah ta'ala. In Kerala we have a lot of material in seerah. But in Karnataka, Kannada is very limited amongst the Muslims. Because the Muslims don't speak Kannada language. Very few people, they speak Kannada as a little bit of language they speak. But generally, Muslims in general, they don't speak Kannada language here. So Mangalore, there is one group, they are working very hard, mashallah ta'ala. So they have come out with this booklet. And we want to distribute this amongst the masses here. Just 2 rupees or 3 rupees booklet. And we can start distributing to our neighbors. In 16 pages, mashallah ta'ala, in a concise way, the booklet explains about the mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Free distribution. You might come across Kannada speaking people, you don't know what to give. And if you give a very thick book, very fat book, they don't have time to read. They don't have. For beginners, give them some booklets like this. Your neighbors are there. Tell them, I have come to give you a gift. Give them this. This is part of your assignment. Will you all do, inshallah? Inshallah. First and foremost, writing something in Kannada, it's very difficult. Secondly, printing, and it has come all together to us after proof check, inshallah. So I will give you all assignment. Each one of you will be taking 10 booklets. And you have to give it to your neighbors, the people who are around you. Whom are you going to give it to? Neighbors. And if somebody wants to give it to the colleagues, take another 10. Your classmates, take another 10. No problem. We have printed enough here, inshallah ta'ala, and we want to print more also, inshallah. Dr. Bilal Phillips' booklet, The True Religion of... The True Religion. Dr. Bilal Phillips' one book is The True Religion, a small book. That book is also translated into Kannada. And we'll be getting even that stock, inshallah. Now, booklets are coming. Now, what is your job and my job? Distribute it. The least we can do is distribute it. Is there anybody who does not want to distribute? Raise your hands. No, alhamdulillah, everybody wants to. But take up this seriously, inshallah. Field work is important. Coming on the stage is one level, but field work is important. When you're walking on the street, you meet somebody, you go to a nearby barber. Barber, you know, he speaks Kannada. Enri, Gotta Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam bagge togoli, read madi. You can give it that way, inshallah. So, brother, distribute this to all the 10, each member give them 10 copies, inshallah.